Welcome to the trash fire.
Welcome to the trash fire.
I don't know. Is that good? That's good.
It's not streaming
Yep.
if it's not broken.
Haha, there we go. Okay, it fixed. This is what happens when over the week I decide that maybe I should update to Windows 11 and have this be the first attempt at doing anything live after that. So again, we're all learning. It's a fantastic time. Today is May 23rd, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available. Being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions like, well, how long has LB had this adventure brewing? Where was the inspiration for all these characters? What the hell is Monster of the Week anyways? All of that you can ask us on our Discord. You can find the link in the side chat over yonder, or in the video, or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But you're probably thinking to yourself, but Endor, didn't you just say that it was free? I thought Patreon, you had to pay money and things. Well, normally you would be right, but on Patreon, all of it is under the public tag, so all you have to do is just head over to patreon.com/indooradventures, and again, that after show is entirely for free. So, let's say, for example, you already support us on Twitch, you already support us on Patreon and YouTube and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, normally I would say that we got your back, but instead, we got a lot of other people's back. Specifically, all of the proceeds that we get from our merch sales are currently being donated to Doctors Without Borders. So, if you want to pick up a t-shirt, poster, mug, crop top, throw pillow, shower curtain, apron, clock, or mask, that's right, we got Tia Mask. That's masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201. Again, all of the proceeds of our merch is currently going towards Doctors Without Borders. So, if you'd like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But, did you know that there is another way that you can help support this show? Not necessarily this show as a whole, but someone on this show. If you go to shop.therookandtheraven.com, you can use the code HypeGoblin to get 15% off of your overall order. It's banana pants. I did it just earlier last week. It was fully customizable. You can have all sorts of things in there, different rings on your binders, different covers. They even have different papers that you can put inside of those journals. It's incredible. And all you have to do is just remember to put Hype Goblin as your coupon code in the overall purchase of your Rook and the Raven. And again, you go to shop.
Hype Goblin?
Hype Goblin, the same person who's like this way in the channel next to me. That name, basically that Twitter name, just remove the 15% off your overall order. It's insane. And mine's going to be arriving in not even 3 weeks. So happy early birthday to me. Thank you to the Hype Goblin. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey RJ, who you playing today?
Hello, everybody. I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Emmanuel de la Cruz, who is the Spellslinger.
And I'm Sarah, aka the Hype Goblin, a little emotionally overwhelmed. I'm going to be playing Imogen Kirk, the Spooky.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. Today I'm be playing Jason Moore. He uses he him pronouns. He is a monstrous.
And hello everybody, I am the Indoor Adventurer. I am suffering from allergies, so if you see me put this cold thing up to my face, it is because my face is trying to escape itself. But I am going to be playing as Rike. He is the Chosen.
And I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'm going to be your game mistress for this evening, your keeper of secrets, your cat wrangler and kitten wrangler. So if you see me get up, it's because someone got out, or someone's trying to mess with me. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this wonderful one-shot. I have had this planned for a while. And it is very special for me and for some of my friends. So hopefully you guys enjoy. We have done some character creation. Everyone has made their playbooks and gone through their histories, but we're going to go through and have everyone just describe their characters and how everybody is intertwined. Because a big thing with Monster of the Week is creating your histories and how everyone knows each other. It's a really good way to get your group together to right before the mystery, so you're not like, oh, you all start in a tavern sort of thing. So let's go around and have everybody describe their character, what they look like, and let's talk about how they interact. Let's just go in the same order. RJ.
I didn't hit the mute button in time. I apologize. Ha! Manny, as he's known to his friends, is Pacific Islander. He always wears like a 3-piece suit, even in like the North Dakotan heat, which is currently going on. He's probably lost the blazer and is wearing the vest and the inner shirt. He has his hair slicked back. And he has just a general air of friendliness around him. Little infectious. His histories with everyone else, with Rike, they both competed for the same artifact. They used to be rivals, and now they are very close friends. For Imogen, they are comrades in arms that basically fight monsters together. He goes to her every time he needs some divination help. And finally, with Jason, he thought Jason died. But Jason didn't. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes on with everyone else's history where he feels really sorry about it and wants to make it up to Jason.
Aw. All right, Sarah, tell us about your character.
I am playing Imogen Kirk. She is going to be playing the spooky. She does a lot of divination and telepathy, and she has a demon trapped in a magic 8-ball, which I used an excuse to buy that. She has long dark hair. It was previously dyed red, but it has since grown out. She typically wears it either fully up or half up. And she has a very like black beard from Our Flag Means Death meets like witch bitch vibes going on about her. Lots of leather, lots of off the shoulder pirate shirts. Probably get some odd stares in this small North Dakota town. She is Jason's second cousin on her mama's side, and she's trying her best to keep them alive. Manny is their comrade in arms. She may have used her powers on him once when he tried to take the magic 8-ball away from her, but he doesn't remember that. And Rike is unfortunately married to me. I don't want to talk about it. We have tried to get divorced several times, but work gets in the way.
Beautiful. I can't wait to see that dynamic. Kana.
Jason is a 28-year-old ex-military type. Definitely an outdoors sportsman person. He's my brother, basically. Suntan skin, dark hair, short scruffy beard, mossy cat, very old t-shirt. Has no idea that Imogen is married to Rike. Does not want to know. That's what I got.
That's fair. I don't want to know either.
What are your other connections?
I think Manny might have tried to kill me.
Mm-hmm. Someone else tried to kill you.
Someone else tried to kill me. I think. Is that it? Is that all we got with Manny?
That's what we had. But someone tried to kill you, and I was like, no, wait, hold on. I owe him. Don't. He's just a little guy. Just a little dude.
And then Rike works with me.
Mm-hmm.
I might have saved him from certain people.
All right. And last but not least, Indoor.
So Rike currently looks like he got into a nasty fight. He has a little bit of a shiner. So when you see me putting an ice pack over my eye. It's role play now. It's part of the narrative. But he looks not great. There are a lot of facial scars that don't look like they're necessarily animal caused, but that's more so because he got into a pretty gnarly motorcycle accident a handful of years back. Shock black hair, little bit of, he's burns more so than he tans, which is making this summer heat unbearable for him. But specifically of note, he has a, it's like a small monolith of what looks to be mahogany obsidian that he wears as a necklace, being this little guy right here. And other than that, he tries to be as nondescript as possible, but again, slicked back hair, mostly because it's probably unbathed and greasy versus Manny, where it's styled that way. And he looks like the kind of person that you would almost expect to loiter at a national park, let alone work at one, which is Jason's probably had to talk to him a few times, about his personal hygiene, if anything. As far as, connections go, as we stated earlier, Imogen and Rike are married. It was kind of like, it was a drunken bender thing. It was a Vegas wedding. It happens. But yeah, he does not want to tell Jason that he married his cousin. Not his own cousin, but Jason's cousin. I realized as I said it, it sounded a little strange.
Bit further south, dude.
Yep. But yeah, so he doesn't want to tell Jason, but at the same time, he definitely feels like he owes it to Jason to eventually maybe say something about it if it happened. But at the same time, it'll come up naturally. Is more of Rike's thing. With Manny, they were rivals at a point. But mostly because Manny should have been the chosen instead of Rike. But what can you do? Destiny works in fun ways, which is, again, the whole being married to Imogen, and then trying to separate themselves, only to have work or supernatural otherness typically get in the way whenever there are divorce papers or anything in the process of getting signed over. They haven't been able to separate themselves for whatever reason.
All right, wonderful. And about how long have you guys known each other? Have you guys, all of you together, have you worked on cases together? Has it been piecemeal sort of stuff? There's a few people in town that you guys have talked to about specific supernatural things. Do they contact you as a group? What do you think?
Manny doesn't live here. He's from out of town and comes in whenever he's been requested.
Okay.
But he probably knows Imogen for about 5 years, Rike for about 8. And way back when Jason was serving, met him there and then thought he died and then moved to South Dakota. Was like, oh shit, I know you.
Surprise, bitch, I lived.
I think I owe you that drink now.
I think Jason's definitely the kind of person who just stayed around town. I feel like he tries to stay out of all the weird shit, but people keep coming to him because he knows things that he probably shouldn't. He keeps getting favors from people.
As the Monstrous, how many people know of that side of you?
All 3 of these do.
Okay.
All 3 of these people do. I don't feel like it's gotten very widespread throughout town.
Okay. And it's very well contained. It's not out of control.
Right.
Mostly. Okay, cool.
Sure.
All right, what about you guys, Imogen and Rike? How long have you been married? How long have you known each other?
Let's start with how long I've been here. I think Imogen is also like a lifelong resident. I feel like she left, and at some point Jason needed help or support and then came back. So maybe she was like gone for a little while, but she kind of did like the whole leave your hometown, go somewhere far more interesting, and then come back situation. I think the others, I probably met Manny through Jason, probably sometime after they realized Jason was alive. And Rike, how long are you saying you've been in town? Have you been here like have you grown up here too?
No. He was probably getting into some shit in like East Coast, like along the coast. And then, like, kept, like, okay, like, if I keep fucking up, I'm gonna keep going, like, further and further west, like, off to the side. And then eventually just sort of, like, stumbled upon here. He could even be, like, coming for... Actually, you know what?
Did
He's
you
coming from
follow
West
Imogen
Coast.
Here?
He's coming from West Coast out. I think that he, like... It was one of those, like, hanging out with Jason, and then, like, sees Imogen later and just, like... Hey, stranger.
Now your live sport.
I mean, maybe don't go that far, but hi. How are you, person that I've never met before? I feel like maybe like 6 months prior is when the wedding happened, and then you just show up out of the blue.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We never thought we'd see each other again.
Again, like, I have a job at the park now. And so like, it could even be like you're coming to talk to Jason about like family things, and then like me where it's not park attire. He's ripped the patch off of the state parks thing and like put it on whatever clothing he wants to wear. Be like, there, it's official uniform now.
Just a safety pin.
Yeah, it's just safety pinned on. That way he can put it on different island shirts.
Okay, I have my opinion on that now.
All right, perfect. Any questions before we get started? Any concerns? I know a couple of you have beginning mystery moves. We will get into that. But unless there's anything else, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Cooliosis. All right. Our story begins in the small town of Mott, North Dakota, a typical American town with a fascinating history. The town began as a hot spot for magic and those who trade in it. A ley line of magical energy runs through the plain, touching many properties along the way. It was founded as a safe space for those in tune with the supernatural, but over the years it has become more normalized. Most of the people who live there are normal folk, trying to make a living. Ranchers, small shop owners, and many in the trade business. Okay, sorry. In the summer, the town sees many visitors. Its proximity to Theodore Roosevelt National Park and the Dakota Prairie grasslands allows for many tourists and campers to travel through. The town has quite the reputation for strange occurrences, and when people visit, they tend to be drawn to the oddities. Fortune readers, hoodoo practitioners, haunted homes, and those who trade in the occult occupy most of Main Street, catering to those visiting as well as those who know the truth. This summer is Mott's hottest on record so far. Temperatures reaching 150 degrees have been the normal for the past few weeks, with no sign of dipping down. On a typical Thursday evening, the streets are quiet, awaiting the weekend campers and tourists to come pouring in. But this sweltering Tuesday night was about to be unlike any other. So let's talk about where everybody is on a typical Thursday evening in Mott.
Wait, is it Thursday or Tuesday?
Thursday. Did I say Thursday? It's Thursday.
Okay.
It's a weekday. Weekday night.
I imagine there's a group text that goes out from Manny asking where everyone is because he's just blown into town. And it just reads, I've got souvenirs.
There's an immediate text back from Imogen, and it's just a picture of the bottom up bars sign out front.
That would be the Bottoms Up Bar. A very small dive of a bar, but the only one in town. Sees a lot of business on the weekends, but right now there's just a lot of locals and regulars sitting at the bar and occupying the tables.
Is this a group chat, or did you like send each of us a message individually?
I mean, I figured we'd have a group chat. Supernatural squad.
Okay. Yeah, I think that Rike will probably he would wait for Jason to message first, just so that way like it still looks like, you know, like he's doing he's not texting at work. Don't be ridiculous.
There's like the camera cuts to a little like trailer home, and this like little metal table on the outside where you see like this half gutted fish with Jason's arms like deep into it. The phone buzzes on the table twice, and he just it's this like huge smartphone with like a huge like OtterBox or whatever the next version of that was. He just like still fish guts on his hands, just like, what the fuck? So I still think it's like 2 hours before we actually have to go into the park. And he just leaves it.
So it's still 2 hours before we have to go to park duty?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like if there were anything that like we would need to be in the park for, it would be at night.
Gotcha. Well, it's the hottest time of the year. You know, we got to make sure that we're going around close to quiet hours. Make sure the fireplaces are low. You know, it can't be too high over the grate, because that's a real problem. And I think that like, if anything, Rike would send an emoji of a motorcycle, a beer mug, and then a lemon. Meaning that, like, yeah, he'll, like, get his way over to the beer place, and then he wants something cold.
Okay.
Why are you sending hieroglyphics? I don't have my Rosetta Stone.
After, like, 10 minutes, so if anybody responds to a text in a normal amount of time, Riker is gonna like, or not
that me.
Jason is gonna like, he's got like an outdoor sink next to where he's prepping his fish. He's gonna like wash off his hands, wash off the OtterBox, and then just like click on Manny's name and actually call him.
Yeah. Manuel de la Cruz, how can I help you?
Manny, what do you mean you got souvenirs?
Oh, well, I popped in from Dubai, and I've got a couple of souvenirs, like a pashmina scarf for Imogen. I've got some coffee beans for you. I don't know what Rike likes, so I kind of just went with dates and honey.
All right. Where you at?
Bottoms up.
I guess it is Thursday.
What's wrong with bottoms up on a Thursday? What do you people stateside call it? Thirsty Thursdays?
Yeah, but like, it's gonna be busy. Most people like make a day out of it. Yeah. I'll meet you there, and I'll be there in like, I don't know, 30 minutes.
All right. I'll get you your usual then.
All right. Hangs up.
Walks into the bar, scans the room for Imogen and Rike.
Oh yeah, Rike is definitely the person who made, like, Thirsty Thursdays are like part of it, and knowing, I want to say, like, knowing that Jason is going to be there, just like...
Still has not responded to the group message.
I think if anything, he has like a pitcher of beer for himself, but rather than like lemon slices, he's just cut a whole lemon in half. And, like, just squeezed it into the pitcher and then just dropped it in there.
Sally, who is sorry, that was LB. You put lemon in beer?
A Hefeweizen, yeah. It actually goes really well.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could do a lime, and the lime works really good too.
Okay, all right. I was like, I've heard of oranges, but I've never heard of someone squeezing a lemon. So the bar is typical dive bar. There are a couple pool tables, lots of regular round tables, a larger bar top that's sort of in an L shape. There's a couple of servers, but Sally, who is the owner, blonde, stronger build woman, clearly worked on a farm for a lot of her life, is the owner, and she is walking around getting everybody their stuff as she sees Manny walk in. She puts a hand up, just says, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while."
Yeah, sorry, just blew back into town, visiting some old friends. Speaking of which, he'll go in and hand her a jar of honey.
Oh, thank you. That's just so kind.
Yeah, I figured I'm gonna be here for a while. I might as well give some of the locals some small favors, as it were. Have you seen Imogen anywhere?
Oh, right over there, she points, and she just kind of like plucks your shoulder a little bit. And she's, "I'm always so happy to have you here. If you need anything, just let me know. Can I get something started for you?"
Oh, just whiskey on the rocks, please.
Do you want some potato skins?
You know what? I'll see how the night goes. I'll see how it goes through the night.
All right. I'll see your friends. Imogen, Riker, if you need anything, just let me know, okay?
Holler.
Imogen is currently bent over a pool table, shooting pool with someone, and she's occasionally using her ability to influence the other player to hustle them out of a little bit of money.
I love it. So Imogen has the ability to read minds. How does that work for her?
That's a good. She has telepathy. I can read people's
Is it
thoughts
something
and put words into their mind.
In the context of how it works, is it on all the time? Is it something that she has to think about? Does she get like static from people?
Yeah, I'm reading through it now.
Oh, it's kind of a up to you thing.
I think she can turn it on and off at will. I feel like these, except for the premonitions, because they're more intrusive, I feel like this is an ability that is kind of like honing intuition. I feel like this is something that like her mother and her grandmother helped her develop, and she can ignore it at this point if she wants to.
Okay, so it's not super terrible to be around a lot of people. It's just kind of, yeah, all right, cool. I like that. The person that you were playing pool with is one of the locals, Greg, who is just a nice older man, but boy is he competitive, and he's not taking losing well. But he respects you and is not going to say anything about it, but you can see him getting very frustrated by the way the game is going.
She has the ability called Jinx, so I like to think that every once in a while someone just at an inopportune moment bumps into him, or just there's suddenly someone who's very loud and distracting as he goes to take a shot. It's very unfortunate.
Piano Man starts playing on the jukebox for some reason, and everyone starts singing.
Very distracting.
The worst.
And Rike, you're not with Imogen. You're at the bar.
I am probably, like, if I knew that the gang was showing up, I am probably, like, I am at a booth and I have my drink, but you can tell that, like, he is, like, regretting the fact that it is so hot outside. He just wants to hang out on the smoker's porch, but he cannot because of the heat. So he's just like, fuck it. Like, I'll just smoke while I'm at work. Clearly.
You look absolutely miserable right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, you could say that. It's and he like puts like a bottle away from his face, and there's just like a shiner. Just I mean, I would say that you should see the other guy, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you were able to see him again, that means we didn't. That means I didn't do my job right. But
Slides over a small pastry box towards Rike.
the hell are these?
Sugar dates.
Well, thanks.
Fill up on something besides an IPA and lemon.
He doesn't drink IPAs. He's not about that city life. This is quite legitimately just he just likes lemon beer.
Fill up on something other than a Pabst and a lemon.
And he just like looks at it, he's like, is this a fruit?
Yeah, it's a dried fruit. It's sweet.
Then he sort of like says thanks, and like he'll slide it and like put it with his stuff, like his motorcycle bag, and then he just goes back to eating potato skins.
Yeah.
So come back into town, what? Just to hand out presents?
Yeah, small vacation. Saddest thing I could say is I believe you all are the closest people I have to friends.
That is sad.
You don't really make many in my line of work.
I mean, that's fair. To be fair, we didn't start out as friends, but look at where we are. Invite me out for drinks.
Yeah.
It helps that I was already here, and Imogen was also already here, and you heard from Jason at all?
They said they're coming by in about 30, so, hey, Sal?
Yes, hon?
What does Jason normally get around here?
Oh, Jason?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon with a slice of orange.
One of those in like 20 minutes. He'll be swinging by soon.
All right.
He'll lean back and see where the game is at with Imogen.
Imogen, you are about to sink the 8-ball. And
Is there an interfere option?
you can, well, you can manipulate someone.
I could use magic.
You could also use magic if you like.
Enchant, do one thing that is beyond human limitations.
Don't make me pull out the rule book for PvP stuff.
Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna do anything bad.
Uh-huh.
Or a
Do
place
it.
or portal to a specific person or type of creature. I'm gonna try to use magic to do one thing that is beyond human limitation.
Okay. What is that thing?
It is the Wally West time slows down. He'll zoop over to where Imogen is about to shoot the ball and move the cues just slightly to the right
Okay.
so that her shot is off.
All right, go ahead and roll. Plus spooky, please. Unless you have something that changes that.
I have plus weird, and my
plus
ability practitioner
Spooky.
means that I also get a +1 on top of this for doing something beyond human limitation as a spell slinger.
Ooh, killing it. Let's go.
+1.
Ooh, that is a 12. That is a full success. We're not far enough where you have, anyways. So your spell works without issue. Choose your effect.
Yeah. Do a thing that is beyond human limitations. So I imagine next to Rike, there is a, like, cool breeze. And Manny disappears for, like, half a second and then just reappears with his whiskey in hand. Hey.
Hey, do that
Imogen,
again.
your shot goes wide.
Son of a...
Looks like I might have a comeback. Sorry, man.
You get her, Greg.
What are you cheering? Oh, ugh, they're both here. Well, fine. Here's your 20. It was fun.
Well, thank you, miss. We'll see you later.
You probably will. It's a small town.
All right. Takes a 20, goes to the bar. Jason, you can walk in now.
Yeah, he'll take a couple steps in, look around.
Manny! Jason, we're over here.
Oh, shit.
Riker.
Sarah. Can I? Oh,
It's right here, sweets. She pushes it forward towards you.
well, thank you. He'll pick it up, sip it, walk over, and just like kick out our chairs and sit down with the rest of y'all. So, when did you get in?
A few hours ago, slides a small parcel over to Jason. It's like a dark roast.
Well, that's nice of you, but like, what's the occasion?
Occasion, just decided to feel a bit friendly.
All right. Well,
There's
I
nothing
appreciate
wrong
it.
with being a bit friendly every now and then.
Speaking of, this is for you.
Ooh, thank you. Oh, it's red, my favorite color.
Rike is having this like mental process of just like every time Manny says he's just being friendly, we always end up getting into some bullshit on his behalf.
Speaking of, Jason, you get a phone call.
Fucking.
Now listen, Rike, I need your help on something. Phone call goes off.
On the other end of the phone is the town sheriff, Tact Hailstorm. He has worked with you guys before on spooky and supernatural occurrences. And Jason, he answers the phone and Jason, is that you?
What you need?
Look, I think something's going on. I don't know how to describe it, but it does seem up your alley.
Where?
North town, northwest.
A little bit more
Seems there.
specific.
Gerald, the hoodoo doctor, he seems to have had a break-in of sorts, and I think it might be tied to, well, maybe a death that occurred earlier this week.
Who?
It was Arnuff. He's a Bilberry. He lived on the outskirts of town, kind of a recluse. Had
Do
his
I know
house
him?
broken into. I mean, you kind of know everybody. He's a very similar soul to you, where he just kind of kept to himself, came into town for groceries, cordial with everyone, said hi. He seemed to be knowing. As someone who lives in this town, there are those that are the normies, and there are those that understand the supernatural. He might have been one that understood.
You gonna be there in the amount of time that it takes to get there?
Yeah, we cordoned off the crime scene. We'll be here for a while. I'll text you the address, or should I just
You
tell
can
over
text
the
to
phone?
me.
Okay.
I ain't that
All right.
illiterate.
Well, I know that you prefer a phone call.
All right, be there in a bit. And just hang up.
Oh, do you have to go to work? You just got here. I never get to see you anymore.
No, that was the sheriff.
Oh, something happened?
Didn't do it.
No one said you did this time.
Just wanted to make that entirely clear. Whatever it was, I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
What didn't I do?
Break in at Gerald's.
Yeah. Gerald the Basque.
Oh, is Gerald okay? I just saw him like last week.
I did not hear that he was dead,
Well, that's good.
but they specifically called me in, so I guess it's I guess it's this kind of shit.
Mm.
All right.
You need
He'll
backup?
just like chug as much of the blue moon as he can, and stand up and just like you hear the jingle of his far too many keys on his key ring.
Jason, you gonna need some backup?
Oh, I can
mean,
help
if you-
too.
If y'all won't pile in,
Yeah. I can ask the
I
magic
got
8 ball on
shit
the
all
way.
up in the truck, just like scooching around. You find yourself a butt spot.
Shotgun.
There is a C note that gets slid on the table, and Manny's just leaving.
Sally sees y'all leaving and she just, bye. You guys have a good night. If you want, we're gonna have a special tomorrow. Well,
Crawfish
I seem
Friday.
busy.
Have a good night, sir.
Crawfish Friday.
Crawfish up here.
Karaoke and calamari.
In North Dakota?
We ain't talking about squid. We're talking about crawfish.
Crawfish.
In North Dakota?
Yeah.
Fucking no geography. I go everywhere.
This is Manny talking, not.
Wings is in chat. Wings, what kind of fish is in North Dakota?
Cat?
Like
I
salmon?
specifically looked
I
up
don't know
like
if catfish would be that far
catfish
north.
and pike.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Salmon.
Freshwater
is more
fish.
that far, yeah.
I don't
Let's go
think salmon would
catfish,
go that far.
Well, it's
Go catch some
summer,
catfish.
so it wouldn't be salmon specifically because they
That's what
head
you do.
upstream in October. Hi.
So y'all pile into the truck.
I'm going in my motorcycle. Fuck that. Following behind.
Does this count as the start of a mystery? Because I have a thing that happens at the start.
Does.
Okay.
Why don't you, you and Simon also have, why don't you go ahead and give me a roll and I'll describe what happens. Some playbooks, for those of you watching, have beginning of mystery moves. They are usually out of 12, depending on what your extras are. But let's see what, oh shit.
Ooh.
Indoor, what did you roll?
I don't know. What am I adding?
You're gonna be, well, that depends on your thing. For you, roll plus weird.
Roll plus.
It's a -1.
Okay.
That's a 2d6.
You mean a 4 in total because I rolled a 5? Or wait. No, never mind. I can't use my luck for this.
All right. So Imogen, as you sit down in the car, how do your premonitions, how do they come to you normally?
It's focusing in on what is about to be investigated. It's kind of, for her, it's like she'll hold the magic 8 ball, not necessarily looking at it, but her vision goes down to tunnel vision, and it looks like she's staring off into the distance as her eyes lose focus. But in her mind's eye, she is seeing the object the object or person which she is focusing in on.
All right. So Imogen, as you sit down, buckle your seatbelt because we do that here. You start fiddling with your 8 ball just out of habit, and as you look down into it, your mind sort of starts to focus, and you get this pinpoint of your vision as the swirls of the 8 ball start to coagulate or start to move around more so than you're used to. The little die within it, it keeps turning even though it should be resting at the beginning. Just want to double check.
Techno Geek Girl and Your Hero 1973. Thank you so much for the follows.
Thank you. All right. So you start to focus in and you see the words, but you cannot focus on them. And as they shift from one to the other, the blue kind of clouded moving liquid inside starts to glow and emanate as you focus in, and your vision sort of gets shot away from your body and you start to move quickly in this heat. You can see the waves moving off. You see scratches in a wall, and as the images move quickly, you can see acid dripping from a glass cabinet. You can see glowing things inside the cabinet, this light blue aura giving off. Your vision is torn away to a grassland and a trailer upon it. There is a large portion of the back of it that has just been chewed away by what looks like it's been melted. And as the heat waves sort of move over it, your vision goes into, and you see sort of a melted table, and there's blood dripping on the ground. You see a clawed hand grip at the side of the mobile home, and another one underneath it, and then it sort of rips away, and you see many figures moving off towards the mountains in the grass. And as your vision starts to come back, you get the blue continues to swirl, and you see this bright, warm light and this presence, these giant wings flapping out in front of you. And as your vision sort of comes back to you, you see bright blue eyes open before you are snapped back into your body.
Oh. You all right? Imogen.
Art. He lives in a trailer, right?
God, yeah. They don't give me a fucking... I don't make a lot of money.
What does your money have to do with any of this?
You're asking... You asked if he lived in a trailer specifically, right? Like, Jason?
Not Jason, no, the person that we're traveling to go see.
Oh, I heard you, not he.
Oh, it's okay.
Does Glenn live in a trailer? Yeah.
No, Gerald does not live in a trailer, but
Gerald,
the first
not
name
Glenn.
that you were given, Arnulf, he definitely does.
And Arnulf... Wait.
That was the
Person attack last
victim.
week.
Yeah, someone who has died earlier this week.
Gerald... Okay, what kind of house does Gerald live in?
Sorry, Gerald. So Gerald is the local hoodoo practitioner. He lives in a Victorian style house. He runs a service out of it for people with like if people come in for like mojo bags and like stuff like that. Stuff for he also deals in antiquities, so it's a storefront as well as his residence.
No, Gerald lives in like one of them like good like gated community houses. Like no, Arnulf, one of the other guys, he lives in a trailer. He ended up dead this past week.
Did they say what the trailer looked like?
No.
I saw a trailer, and it looked like it had been blown open or like ripped open, and there were clawed hands.
Hold on,
and
one
a
sec.
table with.
Let's talk about this on the way. Rike, where are you going?
Following you.
Rike, we're going to a crime scene.
Vroom.
There was
He
a
doesn't
lot
want
of
to
blood.
leave his bike. That's really it. He just doesn't want to leave it in front of the bar.
Stay close. Y'all pile in. And y'all like have to scooch like a whole bunch of like junk and stuff. There is definitely a shotgun in the back seat. Just like laying across the seat. Completely unsecured. Not loaded, but completely unsecured.
Even if it's not loaded, you should click safety on. Stow it. Manny will stow it underneath the seats.
The safety is on. It's just out.
Oh, it's just out. Okay.
All right, and he'll. The truck is very loud, very big, and he'll head off in the direction. Now, what were you saying about Arnold? What were you saying about the trailer?
It was like it had been pulled apart, and there was a table, but it was melted, and there were figures running from it, and blood on the ground, and there was scratches on someone's wall, and a cabinet with glowing things inside of it, and it looked like things had been melted away. I don't know. And then there was something that was big, and it had wings, and then there were blue eyes right in front of my face, and then I came back.
Okay.
Is everybody dead? Said cannot respond at this time.
Well, tell her to pick up the damn phone. Call it again.
What he said. It said no.
I hate your fucking ball.
I think he's feeling a little on the spicy sad side today.
Oh, well, fucking.
Oh, wait. It's flipping over again. You may rely on it. I don't know what that means.
I certainly don't feel like I can rely on it right now.
Eastbound.
I think right now he's telling me to sit and spin.
I mean, maybe. I think sometimes he rearranges the letters on the die. I'm not too sure. How many responses is one of these supposed to have?
20.
Oh, there's been way more than 20.
The drive is not that far. You guys make it. You see that the hoodoo shop, again, a large Victorian home, 2 stories. There is a crime scene tape sort of around one of the pillars. It's not like sort of this official thing. You see there are 2 cop cars in front. One of the deputies is kind of just standing outside, sees you, Jason, and everyone else pull up and gives you a wave. One of deputy so-and-so, and waves you inside. When you enter, you see Tact, who is an older, slightly portly gentleman with a big, bushy gray beard and sort of slicked back, but thinning gray hair. He's got his sheriff's uniform on. He's holding his hat and taking notes. And next to him is a darker skinned gentleman. You know him as Gerald. He is and I'm not saying that properly, it's French, but he's sort of talking. And behind him, you can see one of his glass cabinets has been what looks like melted. The glass has sort of, it's a V shape inwards, whereas someone would have had to open it, those doors. The glass on the inside has also been melted in. You can sort of see where this, whatever it was, poured down upon it. There are scratches in the wall, and the back door has been, the handle has been melted off, and there is sort of a hole where it used to be. And the glass cabinet seems to be rifled through and almost empty. Tech sees you enter, gives Gerald a one moment, sort of walks over, pulls up his belt. Well, this is quite the pickle if I've seen one, and you know the things that happen in this town. Imogen, Manny, Rike. Well, since you're all here, I guess we'll get started. The owner of the home, Mr. LeBasque, came home this evening after doing some errands out around town to find that his shop and home has been burgled is a good word to say, but I'm not quite sure how to describe it other than that. I've never seen something like this before, and y'all know that we have seen a lot of weird things here. So thought I'd call you in. Like I said, some strange happened earlier this week with the death of Arnulf. Further outside of town,
Right. I think actually based off of that, Imogen might have had a couple questions.
All right.
Imogen, you want to go ahead and ask that, and we'll take a look around.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have any glowing cabinets?
I do not live here. Would you like to talk to Gerald?
Yes.
Right. Mr. LeBast, could you please come over?
But like about Arnold's house. Well, what did Arnold's house look like earlier this week?
Oh,
The trailer.
Right. It's a trailer, right?
Yes. A similar sort of melted back door. I think that dear Arnold was home when the burglar attacked or whatever it is. He seemed to be mostly dissolved. Don't know if anything was missing from the home, but there were a lot of weird sort of footprints, markings.
Dissolved with lye or with something stronger?
I didn't see nothing melt like this.
Right. What did the footprints look like? Were they large? Did they have any claws attached?
From the scratch marks around, definitely looks like it is some with claws, but there seem to be in sort of three, one large and two smaller scratches, not like a bear. And the footprints were mostly flat, not padded like you see in most mammals. Gerald sort of sees Manny, and if you guys want to start doing some investigative mystery rolls, we definitely can, but he's gonna pop over to Manny real quick because as a dealer in antiquities and magical artifacts, Manny, you have probably done some deals with him before. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, sorry. Gerald, hello.
Hi. They took some of my stuff, some of my items of high value.
Exactly what was taken?
Okay. So they took my crown, the one from the Celtic ruler that said to make your enemies, have bad luck, stuff like that.
You mean the one that if you use in a certain ritual could summon the wild hunt?
Yes. Very dangerous stuff, there was a protection amulet, an enhanced stone that's just for luck, but that the crown is kind of what I'm not worried about it because you need a lot of power to actually summon them, and I have the ritual. It's not like it's...
Yes, but
well known.
Obviously, Gerald, if they went for that specifically and nothing else in the shop, they might know.
But they took all of my magical things.
Let me see your catalog.
Walks you over to the catalog. For those of you looking around, why don't you give me some investigative mystery rolls?
Absolutely.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Did I do it?
Yes,
I didn't
you did.
do it.
What do we add?
Oh, no, you didn't. Investigative mystery is plus sharp, and your plus sharp is 1.
So I got a 9 in total.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Go
get
ahead
to
and
experience though,
You
Connor.
You do get to mark an experience.
Yeah, my sheet's not responding.
Everyone wants.
I think just the lingering scent of acid and melted stuff is just
Yes.
all fucking up Jason's nose. So even though he's trying to go around and look for he's just trying to track this thing like a normal hunter.
Yeah.
He's looking for footprints and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But his eyes start watering. He just lets out this huge sneeze, this dad sneeze.
Everyone jumps.
And he's just in that little bit of state after you shake your head real big, and so he's just out of it for a couple of seconds.
I will say you are getting a stench that is unlike anything you've smelled before. It doesn't smell like an animal. It doesn't smell like a human. But for the others, Make sure you mark experience on that. For the others, on a 7 to 9, hold 1. You can ask one of the questions from the Investigate a Mystery page.
You've activated also my trap card, GM.
Uh-oh.
Forensic divination. When you successfully investigate a mystery, you may ask what magic was done here as a free extra question.
Ooh, good question. All right, I will start with that. The magic that lingers here is sort of a temporal magic, but it is not what was used to burn away or melt the cabinet or the back door.
Mm. And then I get another question on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'm gonna ask where to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What other questions do we have?
I want to know, what sort of creature is it?
Okay.
Also,
I'm gonna...
Chaotic Lucian, thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Imogen's gonna open up her telepathy and ask, what's being concealed here?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna start with, where did it go? Rike, as you start to explore this area, you start looking at the back door. You're a park ranger, you know animal prints. You look at the prints that are made sort of outside, and you see, like the chief said, there is sort of a pad that has been put down, and then 2 marks that are smaller pinpoints, like you'd see in a bear claw, and then 1 larger one. The pad that is down is, you can only equate it to an elephant, but it is probably the size of your palm. It's not that big. But as you continue to look at it, and as you can, wait, who said where did it go? Okay, so I'm going to combine these, because you said what kind of creature is it? As you are, Manny, as you're following sort of where you can see the footprints coming in, and you can see them going off, and they are leading northwest. And Rike, as you are looking at this, you can see from the footprints and the amount of footprints there are, you're guessing that there were at least 3 of these. They are, from your knowledge of nature and the supernatural, probably dog-sized. And they have 2 back legs and 4 front legs that they can use as hands.
Some kind of weird fucking bug. I don't think Rike will even say that as much. Just like, what the fuck is this? Like, hey, hey, Manny.
Yeah.
Do you know, off the top of your head, just throwing this out there, 6 legs? That's bugs, right?
Yeah, that sounds like bugs.
Not like a
They
monkey
do.
that's like parading around looking like a scorpion, top of the animal kingdom, that kind of thing.
Could be a spider monkey.
Okay, but like, but that would be 8 legs and not 6. Get your head in the game, Manny. And then he'll just...
How much did y'all have to drink?
Within the legal limit.
I'm sorry, I misread the situation. I thought this was where I was supposed to banter.
It's a crime
It
scene.
went that way.
Imogen, as you are looking around, your you can hear you reach out with your telepathy. You kind of pierce into Tack's brain a little bit, and he, in his mind, is just like, oh, fucking more of this supernatural bullshit. Like, he is more than willing to give you guys the lead on this and having you guys solve it, because he is kind of over all of the bullshit that is happening here. And you sort of hone in on Gerald as he's looking at his cabinet and looking back through his stock that he was showing to Manny. And you see in his mind that he might have walked in towards the end and maybe doesn't remember something that he saw.
She's just going to say into his mind, think back to coming home.
Have you ever done this to him before?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Why don't you do me a manipulate someone?
Okay, what's that roll?
That is going to be plus charm.
Okay.
And you're going to be doing
Cool.
this using your telepathy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Experience.
What was that?
There's just a weird girl staring daggers.
You on a miss you hold on. Manipulate someone. On a miss you approach, your approach is completely wrong. Poking into someone's head. You often anger the target. You see as you sort of speak into his head, this man who has studied hoodoo for quite some time sort of like steps back and looks around, perhaps looking for spirits. He kind of grasps at his chain around his neck, and he's stepping back, looking around him, and sort of like runs into a cabinet behind him, and he's just I think there's something here.
Manny will walk back in. He's basically pulling out a folded butterfly knife from his pocket, looking around.
I heard a voice in my head.
Manny's probably experienced this and sees just Imogen staring at this guy.
There is a soft, like, lip whistle towards Imogen to try and snap her out of that. Not cool.
What? I needed information.
Look at him.
Pact sort of walks over to him and he's like, "It's okay. What's going on? What'd you hear?" And he's like, "Just a voice in my head." Like they start having a conversation about it.
Sheriff, could you take Gerald out of here and, you know, wrap him in a trauma blanket, get him some hot cocoa, please?
Yeah, just let me know what you find. Come on, Gerald. Starts walking him out.
See, this is why you should come work for me, Imogen. You could get some proper training in actual magic. And you see Manny just start flipping the butterfly knife over his fingers over and over again as he begins to cast a spell.
Yeah, whatever you say, practical magic. He saw something.
I'm going to use magic to try to see in another time or place, and I'm going to go back a few
Hell
hours.
Yeah. All right, let's roll it. Go ahead and roll use magic, please.
Yes, no hold.
Holy shit. That's a 13.
Yeah.
All right. What does it look like when you use this magic?
The butterfly knife begins to spin around his hand faster and faster, creating the intricacies of a spell circle. And as he flips it open with a flourish, stabs down into the ground, and like this volumetric like pulse emanates, and everything like slowly rewinds backwards.
All right. The all of the officers who have tread through this room, you see them, their shadows sort of walking in reverse, your friends moving and yourself moving in and out of this room. You see back to when it was quiet, you see Gerald move in and he seems to be upset about it, calling, and then you see as he is pulling away and pulling back, small dog-sized shapes moving back into this room as it reverses. And as you begin to slow down this time, you see these sort of flesh-colored dog-like creatures that have sort of four forearms with sort of a purple coming up them. They have 2 short claws and 1 very long claw on each of their front feet. Their back feet are almost bird-like. They have 2 larger spots and 1 sort of dew claw. They have a very long, flowing, whip-like rat tail. Their face is too small for their body, and it has very strong ridges. Their ears are pointed and flowing back, and sort of almost batwing in shape. They have glowing blue eyes, and their muzzle is pulled down into what looks like a trunk that is dipped blue at the end and then moves back into this flesh color. And you can see 3 of them sort of moving into this room. You see one of them on top of the cabinet, and it is dripping from its mouth this acid to open up this cabinet, and the other 2 are doing it at the sides. And as they rip into this, they use their snout to sniff out the items that they're moving a bunch of little things out of the way until they find the items that they want. And you see them take them into their snout and pull them into their mouth. And as they consume these items, they start to glow blue.
You're right. These are some weird fucking bugs.
This is what they look like.
The fuck?
And on that note, we are gonna take our break.
What the fuck is that? So, we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to our Discord. We got the link set up in the Twitch chat to the side. Go hang out. Check it out. We already got some new folks. Some new folks popping into the Discord throughout all this. So thank you for joining us. We're going to be right back. All right. See y'all shortly. And we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned. The thing I'm using to ice my face will now double as a delicious snack when I'm done. But that's not all I'm excited for. Because, hey, RJ, I have a question for you. I want to keep track of, like, all of the stuff that I've used to help keep my face cool. But, like, I have too many, like, sticky notepads and other things that, like, I don't know what to do with on my desk. Is there a way that I can consolidate this into, like, one awesome journal that like I can augment at different times? Like, what if like I fill it up, can I order, like, is there a journal or like a diary of sorts that I could just add pages to? Do you know where I could get that?
It sounds like you need the Rook and the Ravens journal and planner. It has a character sheet. It has a bunch of other neat things in it, like cartography and Scrivener stuff, where you can keep track of all your NPCs, and they're modifiable. So you can go from 100 pages all the way up to 300 pages.
Oh my God.
To keep your inventory in fucking check.
And not
but
only
you know
that,
what's even great?
What?
You can get a discount of up to 50% by using the code HypeGoblin. Thank you, Sarah.
I wanted to get in on it.
That's 15%? 1.5?
15%.
Holy cow. That's amazing. And all I have to do is just like put that in at the checkout.
That's
Yeah.
like you can get 15 of them for the price of 14. That's not how math works.
That's how math works on this channel. So remember, folks, don't listen to us, because Cypher once said we're too gay to do math, but we at least know how discount codes work. So all you got to do is just at your checkout for your shop.therookandtheraven.com, HypeGoblin during checkout, 15% off, and then you can get things like character trackers. They even have grids, bullet journals. They got all sorts of shit over there. And of course, we're always going to be plugging that to Sarah's chagrin here on Indoor Adventures whenever we get the chance. So with that, that's it for our little bitty LB. Take us away. They're the blue guys. They look like tapirs.
Double D,
Weird.
double die.
Dabba dee, dabba die. Manny, you have this vision. Your sight comes scrolling back through the day, and you feel yourself pulled back into your body after you have this vision of these weird-looking gremlin things.
He'll yank his butterfly knife out of the ground and flip it closed before tucking it back into his pocket. Yeah, that was a little gross, actually.
How bad is it?
They've got 6 arms, some sort of elephant trunk. Their head is way too small for their body. They've got like these really kind of weird butterfly ear things going on.
Hang on, just think about it. She's gonna use her telepathy and just hold your face with one hand as she concentrates to
Do
see the
they
image.
look like the dogs from Willow?
I'm gonna have to Google that.
They don't. Those dogs only have 4 legs, and they're barely dogs.
Oh, the death dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I think what Imogen sees first is there's a trunk, and there is a, like, it shudders and pops open, and there's just a shadow miasma coming out before it, like, gets shuffled away, and then you see a dog.
Huh. Your
Or-
brain's weird.
I know this.
Imogen, you recognize a lot of these features, this glowing blue, all of these from your vision of here, and as well as the trailer home.
What's glowing blue?
The beings when they
Oh, the beings.
consume, yeah, when
Okay.
they consume the artifacts, they glow.
Can I have my face back?
Oh, yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah.
I think they eat the things that they take. We might not get his stuff back.
That's good, actually.
I mean, hopefully he was insured.
I don't think my society does that. Rough.
I
Hey,
want to look
Rike.
into it. Could make a killing in this town.
Sorry, Jason. What's up?
Hey, Rike.
Yeah.
You are clearly saying something, picking up on something that I am not.
So, right here is, like, there are these track marks, right? They look like bird thing, bird in back, not bird in front. Like, not dog, but they move like a dog. How do I put this? They got 6 legs, and I think they're bugs.
Anything else?
They went that way. And he'll point to the northwest.
Is that enough for me to sort of, with Rike's help, start to pick up a trail?
Absolutely. You can
Alright,
see the marks now that he's pointed them out. You can see the marks. You're getting this when you're out. Once you get outside, you kind of get the more concentrated scent of these things.
I'm gonna go back to my truck and get, grab my shotgun and then just like keep on the trail.
Okay.
Anybody want ginger ale? I know where Gerald keeps his stash.
Rude.
Oh,
The
I'll take
man's
one.
already been burgled.
I mean, just say that it was taken with the other stuff. Oh, do you think he has any books on, like, I don't know, mystical creatures?
That I'm going to have to say no on.
But you
Like an
do
ex-
know someone in town who has a very large library collection, and you live above their shop.
I mean, we could go back to the shop. I mean, there's some books there that we can go look through.
The longer we wait to find out what these things are, the more so that we lose the direction that they're going. So do we want to break off into squads?
Well,
I don't think you should go anywhere near it without knowing how to kill it.
We also don't know what happens to the magic items once they've been absorbed.
Mm-hmm. Or what kind of magic the creatures use. I mean, I did see an entire half of a trailer just, like, melted.
They puked acid from those trunks.
Oh,
Oh, is that where that comes from?
they got
Oh, wow.
trunks?
Yeah.
They're more of sedans. So... Sorry,
Like
not the time
like
for
an
banter.
anteater with too many legs. Upright. Ish. Maybe?
so
Have you ever played Pokemon?
so
Pokemon Go?
Yeah, it's like a drowsy.
Yeah, there's only one stop though in town, so I just walk by it like 4 times a day on my lunch break.
So who has books on this kind of shit?
Oh, at work. We have them in the shop. We don't sell those ones to tourists though.
All right, load up.
Woo! Ooh, I can get my guns while I'm at home too.
It's North Dakota or South Dakota.
North
Dakota.
Dakota.
North.
That's North.
North Dakota.
I don't know gun laws. Whatever.
I
You guys
keep them locked in a safe. Thank you
I
very
understand
much.
that you are responsible gun owners.
Vroom vroom.
From
Yes, you guys load back up into the truck, right? You hop back on your motorcycle and head to the Clear Futures Oddity Shop, owned by Amelia Tobias. It is a small storefront on the main thoroughfare of the town. There are a lot of hanging, draped things in the window. There's a lot of sort of hanging gems and wind chimes. As you open up the door, the bells ring. You can see plenty of space where there are different gems and crystals. There's incense and other sort of oddities type deal. There are bones and wings of butterflies. There's art that is done of some of the dead creatures in there. This is sort of the best place to get your magic item needs for any sort of spells you want to do. She does have a vast library in the storefront that she sells, but you know that Amelia has a section in the back that is more catered to your specific needs. They're more truthful items and that more of the realistic supernatural items, not the commercial things. Amelia is sitting behind the counter. She has sort of unkempt golden hair that is pulled over to one side. She's looking at some bones that are on a piece of fabric. She's kind of mulling it over. There's one other person in the shop that is sort of one of the local magic users, real magic users. She's looking at the wings that are over, feathers that are over in the corner. Oh. And as you walk in, Amelia looks up and, hey, you're not working today, right?
Oh, no, it's my day off. But we need to see the books.
As soon as Jason walks in, he just lets out the biggest dad sneeze.
Oh, stay away from that side of the store, Jason. That's where all the incense is.
Excuse me.
Manny, you're back.
Hello.
She sort of like shifts her hair off to the side. Where have you been?
Dubai, mostly.
Oh my gosh, that's so incredible. What'd you find?
Classified.
Oh, come on.
So you know the whole monkey's paw story?
Of course.
Actual monkey's paw.
Wait, you haven't used it, have you?
No, I'm not an idiot.
Okay, good. I didn't think you were, but you know, I'll make sure you're safe. So what are you guys researching?
I would want to make a point. Rike does not want to go into that shop. He's probably outside like smoking, mostly because like, especially if Jason doesn't know that Rike and Imogen are married, he doesn't want to like have the shopkeep say anything. And he probably has like a police scanner like built into his motorcycle.
We're looking for information on creatures, maybe local to the area, maybe some transplants, anteater, like lots of legs. Also, don't go outside, you know who's out there.
She like leans back in her chair and she can see through one of the curtains. Rike sitting there smoking with his ice pack on his eye.
Someone punched him. I didn't get to see it.
Unfortunate. Do you have anything else? So 6 legs, anteater face.
Manny,
Y'all said something
Uh,
about like acid.
yeah,
Acid.
acid spit.
It's acid.
Is the person in the store on the up and up?
She looks over and you see this lady who's just like really engulfed, like she's in her own thoughts, like trying to go through a list of like things that she needs. She didn't write it down because of course she didn't, and she's like very much into what she's doing. Oh, she's fine. She's gonna be here a while. She tends to forget.
Just in case, out of earshot, Manny will lean in. They also have a penchant for eating magic items.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that a new cologne?
Maybe.
It's nice.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Manny.exe has stopped working.
You said they eat magic items? Like they don't
Yeah,
store them, they consume them.
They consume them and then their body starts glowing.
Oh, that is definitely triggering some bells. Here, I'll show you what section to look in. And she stands up and she walks around the counter and puts her arm in yours, Manny, and she's like, "Let me show you my wares."
Manny.exe has stopped working again.
And she'll lead you guys to the back. There is a almost the same size as the front. There is a back section that has more of the attuned items and specific bat wings and like very specific towards magical usage. But there is a couple bookshelves full of items, and she sort of lets you go, Manny, and walks over to a shelf, and she kind of points to a section. She says, well, it sounds like whatever it is probably not from this plane of existence, because anything that I've heard of, I mean, it doesn't sound like a fae. They don't usually like eat things. They usually like steal them. But I would look here, I guess. That's a good place to start.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else I can do for you?
Manny's only in town for a short period of time, so maybe we should have like a game night before he leaves.
That would be so much fun. We could do it at my place.
Excellent. What do you say, Manny? Mm-hmm. You bring the drinks, I'll bring the snacks.
I'll bring the games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'll go out front and make sure that who doesn't come in.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If he does,
hi, Jason. She'll walk past and out of the room.
You really don't do well with the flirting, do you?
Furious head shaking. I can talk my way out of a mafia holdout, but when it comes to romance, nope, out the window.
Right, so no games that involve bluffing for you.
Or Twister.
We'll save that till you level up a little bit. How about Monopoly?
I hate Monopoly.
Yahtzee?
Everybody hates Monopoly. You might as well go for it.
I like Monopoly. I actually know the rules.
We'll start with Uno, and Manny starts like climbing the ladder.
Can't wait for all those reverse cards.
All right. Why don't one of you give me an investigator mystery to see what you find on this bookshelf?
I'll give it to someone else. I'll help out.
That's going to be a sharp roll.
Oh, I have 2 on that.
Get it, girl. That is 6. a 6. There is a mechanic called help out.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark luck to change my roll to a 12.
Ooh.
Or is that just for combat, right?
No, it's
no. You can use that at any time. So for those of you who are watching at home, luck is a thing that you can do in Monster of the Week, where you can use a luck roll to then change it to a 12. But there is usually a bad thing that happens. What is your luck special?
Where would that be listed? I'm not seeing it.
It's right under your luck. It's the section.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When you spend luck, your dark side's needs will get nastier. So I will copy and paste my dark side to you.
Oh, I can see it.
Okay.
So your dark sides are soullessness, soulless, hallucinations, and paranoia.
Uh-huh.
I can choose, or you can choose.
Hit me.
Okie dokie. I will let you know how that works out for you.
Thank you.
Because Rike did roll very poorly earlier. And that's going to need to come back as well. So your with your luck roll, your investigation switches to a 12. On a 10 plus, hold 2 from the investigate a mystery list. You can ask 2 questions from the list.
See, these are more towards like a specific place. So I think we're going to focus in on what sort of creature is it? Looking for a book that will do that. And
what can hurt it?
What can hurt it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Could we do the flexible alternative from the Tome of Mysteries?
What would that be?
I'm just seeing it in like the sheet, but it says on a 10 higher, ask the keeper 2 general questions or 1 specific question.
Yes, you can do that as well, if you'd like. If you don't want to stick to the list.
Okay. We definitely need to know what can hurt it. Is there anything else the group would want? What sort of info are we looking for, y'all?
Oh, I already said sort of creature and what can hurt it for my vote.
What can hurt it and what they can do to hurt us, specifically like with the acid and magic items.
Sounds good. We'll go with those.
All right. You guys take some time to look through this stack of books, each one of you, using your own intuition to sort of gather information and find the right source. Imogen, you come across a book on planar beings, and you find in a sketched image of what you believe to be these creatures. In the book, they're called gremlins. They are creatures that eat magical artifacts. They use acid from their trunks to melt away and break into places. Seems like it fits really well. There is an account of someone who went toe-to-toe with them. And in that account, they say that there are always more than you think. It's like finding fleas on your pet. This creature, unless caught alone, is very dangerous because of the pack mentality of it. If you're going to exterminate them, you have to hit them all at once. It talks about their razor sharp claws, their ability to burn through human flesh. They can use, in general, there is no mention of them being able to physically transport themselves via planar magic, but somehow they did end up here. And it says that they usually hunt when it is the hottest, and they are drawn to magical items. The more powerful, the better. And it says that, again, you need to kill them all at once to eradicate the situation. Otherwise, they will keep repopulating and continue their nastiness. And as you are looking through this book, Manny, you start to find these more intense spells. They seem to be of the big magic sort. Not mundane. They are extravagant, and they are dangerous. And you do come across one that seems to be after Imogen has described to you what these creatures are, seems like it might work. But it is big magic. And I will show this spell to you now. Would someone like to read it?
Ooh. Akrama's vengeance. Many must die for the one who should not have perished. Those who walk the plains must steel themselves to summon the might of Akroma.
Acroma.
Angel, huh?
It's Acroma.
The A is silent. Oh, Akroma.
Acroma, yeah.
Okay. Akroma, this angel of wrath requires the strength of many and a well of magic on the plains. Must be tapped into. This well must be owned by the user for it to take effect. Stand on the land to summon forth her power, speak the words to gain her ear, and sacrifice a great artifact to show her respect. Senza rispo nessuna pietà non importa cosa. We could do this. It's sort of a black cloak affair, if you know what I mean.
What?
We're going to need to use some very big magics. According to this tome, well, this town has a plethora of ley lines, but we actually need to own some property above one of them. Other than that, need to sacrifice some sort of artifact.
All right. GM.
Yes.
Jason, working in the for game warden wildlife fishery stuff, I would have a pretty good idea of like the land and who owns what properties and everything. Would he know about these lake crossings and if there are any specifically around here that would fit this purpose?
You do, actually. These ley lines sort of branch out throughout some parts of the town, most of the northern section of the town, and there are some that run across your land.
I know a spot.
All right. We're going to need an artifact next to sacrifice to this planner angel.
I can see if there's something in the shop.
It has to be pretty powerful.
I can see if there's something in the shop.
I can try and pull some strings. But let's see what's in the shop first before I have to do that. I hate dealing with my order.
That's fair. I'm going to go back out onto the shop floor and ask for some special inventory, if we have any.
As you sort of walk out, you see Amelia is like leaning out the door, and she's like, "You better not be ashing on my sidewalk." What?
What are you gonna do about it? It's a free sidewalk. It's a free country.
What happened to you?
I got into a fight.
Looks like you lost.
You should see the other guy.
Amelia just hears in her head, "You go, girl. Get him."
What the going over.
Sorry, what'd you say? Imogen, you were looking for something?
Oh, yeah. She'll say out loud. Do we have any like really powerful artifacts just for sale around here? We're gonna need something really strong. Apparently it's gremlins. Who knew that they weren't just a 80s TV movie, whatever.
From
Like the things
back.
that you can't feed after midnight?
Yeah, I think so. Or I think maybe a different sort of thing.
Well, actually, gremlins first originated in the World War. They were what was blamed on for any electrical failures within the aircrafts.
What Manny said.
He's so smart.
He is. He is.
Rike,
Don't
are you
bring
just
Monopoly
gonna...
to game night.
Oh. Rike, are you just gonna stay out there, or...
He was planning on listening. He was planning on listening to like his police scanner CB like attachment that he has to see, like to listen in basically, like if there is another mention of these gremlins going off doing a thing.
It is getting later into the evening. Probably about 9 o'clock at this point. You guys running around? It's cooling off a little bit. But yeah, nothing on the chatter other than like maybe a domestic dispute call, sort of a cat stuck in a tree situation. Kind of quiet night. Jason, you're walking out?
Mm-hmm. What the fuck are you yelling about?
She was telling me that I can't ash on the sidewalk.
You really can't ash on the sidewalk. This is a private commercial thing.
The wind will take care of it. It's fine.
Thank you, Jason. Look, if you're gonna be a shithead to my best friend, I'm gonna be a shithead to you.
Fine. That's why I don't come in to this place.
Anyways, magical item that you're talking about, I don't think I have anything that's that powerful here. I mean, I have some stuff, but I don't think that anything that I have is going to be... We're just sort of, you know, I don't have that much money to spend on those things, and we don't really have the deals to...
I'm trying to translate something here in one of the books. It's a hieroglyphics. It's a stork. Thank you. What?
Right.
Who would have that much money?
Hmm?
Who would have that much money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to have big, powerful things.
Manny?
Right, we're gonna have to deal with this order.
Sorry.
Well, unless Rike, you wouldn't happen to have something big and powerful that you weren't too attached to.
When you say big and powerful, he looks over at his motorcycle to attach to, and he just sort of like hand over his chest.
Something magical.
Hand over his chest with his necklace, which that's like the black obsidian piece of his neck, or the mahogany obsidian piece, is of. If you look at his gear tag, I'm fairly certain that artifact is one of the things that he has tagged. So Rike just says, yes. If we're looking to get this done quick, I have something that can work in a pinch.
Don't seem too happy about it, so I guess.
Oh,
it's
kind of the whole thing.
I guess the perfect thing to use then if you're not happy about it.
Oh,
We'll
no,
take it
it's
off your
not.
hands. It's fine. I'll go tell Manny.
Not that
She
I'm not
leaves.
happy about it. It's just that it's kind of the whole reason that I'm doing anything here. Doing anything here in this town. It's because of that. So as long as you all make a promise that I won't turn into an acid puddle as best you can.
Trying to keep anybody from turning into acid puddles, but look, if you really like your bike,
It's not the bike. It's my sword. And
right.
you've seen
Right.
his black, his mahogany obsidian sword before. Like,
All right, then.
again, it's not really mine to do it, but it is mine.
No. I look. I don't understand your spooky shit, but Manny's got to pull some favors in, so you better start kissing his ass.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, out here, not in there.
Hey, Manny.
Oh. There's like a pile of books in his arms as he's walking out. Oh, right. These aren't mine. Hold on.
Imogen, you're watching this take place, and you kind of place your elbow on the counter, the glass countertop. And as you do, you feel yourself being pulled as if you are having a vision, but it's not the gentle tug of a vision. It is sort of a ripping as your mind begins to, you feel this pulsing headache come in, and you see in front of you those blue eyes sort of shaking in this vision in front of you, and you hear this impossibly loud voice boom in your ears. No rest, no mercy, no matter what. And it just shakes your whole core as you see this, and you see the feathers flowing out, this bright white metal in front of your eyes, and it's just kind of consumes your vision for a moment, and you kind of double over in the pain of this headache.
Guys?
Don't work it out.
Okay.
What? What's...
Something's gonna happen.
All right, like what?
There were eyes and feathers and someone saying no mercy. It sounded like a war cry, almost. You know, like in one of those big fantasy movies where they give the big rallying speech right before everyone runs in on the battlefield. That sort of a thing.
Not my kind of thing, but
What was the phrasing on that?
What was the exact phrasing again?
No rest, no mercy, no matter what.
No rest, no mercy, no matter what.
Oh, that's the
Either
spell.
that or it's just insomniac.
That's the spell words, but in English.
Is it? Are they doing the spell or are we? It didn't sound like your voice.
Well, the longer we stand here waiting around, what's the plan?
We need an artifact.
You need to get something big, and we can blow it up on my land.
Are you guys gonna like draw these things to you?
Sounds like it.
I mean,
According to the spell, that it should basically take care of it. Oh no, they hunt out artifacts.
I mean, we can do that, or we can try and track
What are
them.
you doing? What spell? And she kind of like moves over to Manny and looks. You're gonna summon this here.
Well, some
You
bitch
better
was
give
already
this thing a
summoned.
target. This is not summoned here. And she like points to the page with the spell on it.
Oh, not in the shop. We were gonna go over to Jason's place and commence a ritual.
Oh, all right. Oh. What?
There won't be any Kool-Aid.
What did these shucklefucks not pick up on, man?
I resemble that remark. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna if you are going to summon the Angel of Wrath, you better give it a target. Otherwise, you're gonna be the target.
Oh, it's an angel of wrath.
Oh.
We should have read that a
Right
little
Much
here,
bit.
the
appreciated.
Angel of
No,
Wrath.
I knew that. I was saying if we get a powerful enough artifact here in town, the gremlins will come in themselves, and we'll use them as the target.
Outlook not so good.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't need that sass right now. Next garage sale, you're going in the dollar bin,
Don't you dare. He has been in my family for generations.
and he will make $1 for you.
Since the 80s.
Absolutely not. He was my great grandmother's friend, foe. It's a little murky.
There is a lot of degrees of separation between you and the Magic 8 Ball. I got it.
I mean, he can leave at any time. He just likes it in there.
So Magic 8 Ball, that's considered a powerful artifact, right?
Not-
Well, any artifact that we
It's more
sacrifice to the Angel of Wrath. might not-
technically I don't own it. Well, I mean, I own the Magic 8 Ball, but I don't own what's inside it. He just kind of lives in there because for some reason he lacks my family.
Yes.
Well, I was just thinking that, I mean, you do have to sacrifice a magical artifact to the angel, and she uses quotations. But if you have enough magical artifacts and they're smaller, that'll draw the gremlins, right?
Quick idea, real quick.
Maybe.
Manny's gonna run into the back and look for that book about the gremlins again. Does it specify what happens to magical artifacts that are eaten?
They're dissolved. They're
okay.
consumed.
Damn.
Yeah?
Sure.
I mean, I
We
have
can
some
get a-
small things.
I mean, yeah, we can borrow them. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if that's okay with you, take them somewhere where, away from other people. We can take care of this and give them right back.
Okay.
That'd be okay.
Yeah, as long as you bring it back. I mean, no, I know that. I mean, I know Imogen.
Do you want us to do you want us to leave anything as a deposit or?
No, I mean, Imogen charges rent above, and
I do live here.
yeah.
Can
No,
Manny
she's
just
not going anywhere.
reach into his breast pocket, pull out a small checkbook, rip out a page, and slide it across the table?
On it.
Well, I hope it doesn't come to that, but I
Just in
know
case.
where she lives, so I guess if you don't bring it back.
I'll back the truck up to wherever things are brought in,
Oh,
around the
okay.
back. And
Yeah. Just don't sacrifice any of my things.
I'll
we
make
will
a
try
phone
our
call.
best.
Okay. And she starts helping you move things into the truck. Manny, you're making a phone call.
Sixitur ad astra, seek the stars.
Who are you contacting?
Gonna contact his handler, person who
Aw.
gives him his jobs, and ask if they can do him a real big solid and get the magical equivalent of a RPG.
And what are you using to do this?
And use charm. Try to manipulate someone.
Oh boy. Okay. Go ahead and roll that for me, and then we'll play out that conversation.
This is even gonna get better because I know what I'm gonna do next.
All right.
5, I'm gonna turn that into a 12 with luck.
With your luck. What is
So-
your luck move?
My luck move. When you spend luck, the official council of wizards is going to poke their nose into your business.
All right. Tell me about the Council of Wizards that you deal with.
The council of wizards that he deals with is a tribunal. They are basically off the Nordic three fairies, where it's past, present, future that they deal with, like Erd, Beldandi, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if a course of action isn't good for the order, they will reprimand you.
Mm-hmm.
So
you
a lot
call
of resources, if done selfishly, will get reprimanded.
Yeah. So you call up your handler. We'll call him Nicholas.
Hey, Nikki. Sorry.
Manny, what can I do for you today?
Do we
Aren't you
have
on vacation?
No rest for the wicked, as it seems. I got a small problem down here where I'm at. You could probably see. Do we have anything free floating at the moment, kind of doomsday level, like magic items that we can sacrifice to an angelic figure to take care of a really big and nasty problem?
Manny, you're really busting my balls here. Okay. You want the magic item? Do you want it close? Do you need it now? What is your...
Pulls away. Jason, can I get something delivered to your house?
How soon?
20 minutes.
Sure. I don't
Gives
need a
them-
sign for it, do you?
No, that'll be on me.
All right.
He'll give the what is it? Basically the latitude and longitude of Jason's house
All right. Well, you're sacrificing this to what?
There's some sort of interstellar gremlins that are running amok here in town. They're eating every single magic item available. They're multiplying. And we're going to use this to bait them in and hopefully eradicate them in one fell swoop.
Am I going to get this item back?
No.
This item? Can it be cursed?
Yes. Sure. Wait. Yes.
Manny, what are you?
Can this item be cursed? Will it curse the Acroma?
I thought we weren't doing the Acroma.
I think we have to.
Yeah, we gotta kill them all in one go, right?
Let me look at the fine print.
Is that the only thing that can kill them? We can't just like.
Do you have that much ammo?
I got a lot of ammo.
He does.
1 second, Nicholas.
All right.
Do I need to talk to him?
If you want to do the specifics, but let's X-nay the curse on the item here. This is the landowner.
I'll put it on speaker.
Hello?
Hi.
This is Nicholas.
What? Yeah, Jason. Yeah, we were just looking to like borrow a couple like magic items to draw some. Well, when y'all say it was gremlins, some gremlins that have been going around eating
interplanar gremlins. They don't actually match the gremlins.
Interplanar.
You said they are reproducing a lot?
I think so. They've also
Right.
been eating some of y'all's people's stuff around town.
Right, okay.
Nicholas.
Yes?
Do you know the coronet that Gerald has? That's the Celtic one? Yeah, that got eaten.
Oh. They're not absorbing the power, right?
Unknown.
Well, right. Well, we just want to stop that from happening any further. So, can we?
You're trying to bomb them with an angel.
And not be so crass about it.
All right. I understand. I shall see you in 20 minutes. Click.
Is there a limit? Because if we just keep feeding the gremlins magic items, they might overload and explode.
Unclear from the text you have read.
Unclear. Well, we could find out.
Can we explode a gremlin?
Can we explode a gremlin?
It's cocked.
The demon said,
As I see
what?
it, yes.
Yeah, it's a good permission.
All right, you have 20 minutes until you have your magic item at Jason's home, as well as an order member who has said they're going to join you.
Celia, hello.
I'm gonna go upstairs and get my gun.
Okay. Hey, Rike, we're gonna go explode some things. You in?
Always.
Nice.
All right.
I mean, oh no, loss of artifacts.
Comes back down. All right, I got it.
Yay.
All right, load up.
You all load up in the truck. You have your items from Amelia, and you take off down the road with the spell in hand to summon some angel bullshit upon these gremlins. You make it back to your place, no issues. Do you have it's a trailer on some land, or do you have a home?
It's like trailer house, just like on the
double
it's
wide.
just like off of back back road. Yeah, double wide. There's like some like sheds and stuff like built around that's mostly for just like setting up kills to like butcher.
All right. So this is going to be a use big magic. And as part of the big magic, I get to decide what you will need. It is denoted within the spell what you need, and it is you need to use magic as parts of the ritual. The spell needs to be cast in a particular place, and it will, let's see, you'll need a couple people. You'll at least need one person casting the spell and one person helping with the spell to do it. And you'll need a rare weird ingredient and supplies, which is the massively powerful artifact. The spell denotes that there will be you need to like make a spell circle, you need to light candles in a certain way. My question to you is, how are you going to draw the gremlins here? You know that they hunt when it is hottest, and that they are drawn to these magical artifacts. You know that from your place, Jason, they're almost directly to the west, and your land, you own the land. It has ley lines on it, so you don't have any issues there. You have pretty much everything you need to cast the spell. You just need to draw the beings to you.
Yeah. Well, my plan was to drive my truck specifically to the ley line meeting point. Like drive it in as far into the woods as I can.
Okay, it's all on grass plains. There's no like woods around here, but yeah. So you want to go? You're just going to the part of your land that has the line directly through it?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you guys going to draw the gremlins to you? Besides having the artifacts, it is getting towards nighttime now.
Well, it's starting to cool off. Do we need to camp out and wait for it to get hot again tomorrow? Like what, to like noon?
That might be a little too long. Rike, you're muted.
No, fine. Rike says maybe it's like one of those like carrot things, like the donkey and a cart. You gotta have something like for them to snack on, like to make like draw them out. Like even if it's not hot, you can at least like. Okay, how about this? How about you guys set up trap, get that all nice and tidy. I take one of you on my bike. We go near where the gremlins are. We wave it in front of them. And then we ride back here where everything else is going down.
Y'all got everything y'all need?
Pretty much, aside from the big artifact.
I can literally wave him in front of them.
So, you and me on the bike?
If these things come after y'all keep them back?
I can push Rike off the back and drive the bike back.
All right, I'll
sweetie.
go with Rike. I feel like Manny might need your, I don't know, expertise.
Fine, but if you lose this, I will come after you. Don't make me tell your mommy you lost that.
All right.
Let's go ahead and put the fear of God in me.
It's not the fear of God you got to worry about. It's the fear of family.
Family stronger.
All right. So the team is splitting. Manny and Imogen are setting up the ritual. Nicholas is going to show up as you're doing so to help you do this. Jason and Rike, you are traveling out in the direction that you know that these gremlins have come from. It does not take you long to find the lone cave that is in the direction. You pass by the house of Arnulf, who has sadly passed. You keep going northwest, finding this cave, and inside you hear this sort of snuffling sound. What would you like to do?
All right, now's the chance. All you have to do is just throw that magic 8-ball inside the cave, and we'll both say that you lost it.
Do you... She really likes this 8-ball.
I'm aware. Look, okay.
What's going on? What do I need to know about?
Jason, you and I have known each other for some odd time, right? Would you think that Imogen and myself would make a good match?
Are you being serious?
In a way, because I don't think that we are. I don't think that we would. But apparently the state of Nevada thought otherwise.
State? What the...
New Mexico? Is that where it is? Arizona? No, one of those.
What the fuck are you talking about Nevada for?
Where's Las Vegas?
Nevada.
It's in Nevada.
It's Nevada? Yeah, apparently the state of Nevada thought otherwise. And I may have been married to your cousin. We're trying to get the whole thing, like, dissolved as a whole. You know, it's really... I didn't even realize she was your cousin. Not that that, like, makes it any different. But I just wanted to let... You know what? Let's fuck with some gremlins. You know, let's focus on that for a little bit. Okay, so if I'm on the bike...
Rike.
Yes, Jason?
You better hope that motorcycle goes very fast. I got the 8-ball. I am going just a little further into the gremlin cave. And I'll just let out a big whistle to just, like, I don't know, alert them, like,
Catch their attention.
yeah. And then I'm gonna, I don't know, I would like to think that I like had like a duffel bag or something with us, and I'll just like if I hear them, which I really want to hear them, toss the duffel bag to Rike.
Onto the bike.
You hear the scratching and clawing of nails on stone as what you can only assume is hundreds of legs and nails continue to crawl and move out of this. You see the glowing blue eyes of many beings start to claw their way out of this cave, on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor.
And that would be terrifying if fur and claws and glowing or bestial yellow eyes weren't tearing out of Jason right now.
Jason, would you like to describe your transformation?
Oh, it's gnarly. Jason hasn't shared his lycanthropy very much with anybody, but it's his limbs are long, gangly. The whole werewolf face. It's basically the Scourge Beast from Bloodborne. Those sort of dimensions, but he is yeah, it's only a couple of seconds for him to go from Jason to just this feral, 400 pounds of fur and anger that is targeted at Rike right now.
Yeah, Rike is having the mental gymnastics of what's scarier, 100,000+ odd limbs. Or Jason, who he just told is technically family, according to the state of Nevada. And he's thinking Jason. He's thinking Jason is a bit more scary, but gotta go fast.
You peel out on your bike as this monstrous form of Jason, as this wolf creature begins to move towards you. All of this sputtering of these many of little goblins chasing after you. Their limbs carry them quickly, but Jason is faster, and boy, is he keeping up with your bike, Rike. You have a little bit of ways to go until you return back to your home, Jason, while Manny and Imogen are preparing this spell. Imogen and Manny, you see a portal open up at the exact coordinates that you had described, and a man comes out. He has shaved sides of his head. He's got a sort of a large bump of hair that is pulled back into a ponytail. There are braids coming over the sides, and he's carrying this large vase, and he sort of walks in, sees you, Manny. You recognize him as Nicholas, and how's it going? Oh, hello.
Nicholas, Imogen, Nicholas, work buddies.
Pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well. So I brought the artifact, and you seem to be working on the circle. Is there anything I can do to help?
Could you make sure that the candles on the west align up with whatever is going on up there? Here's the notes.
All right. You said you're summoning an angel? What kind of angel?
A chroma? Angel of vengeance? Something.
The candle falls over and he writes it up.
Watch it.
An angel of vengeance?
There's a lot of gremlins.
Manny, I'm going to have to report this back to the group.
I know.
This is what you're sacrificing to it.
I mean, if you decided to, what is it? Peek, peek.
Don't worry about it. It'll work. It is powerful. It's only a little bit cursed. It should be fine. For an angel, it's fine.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the vase of 100 ashes from Pompeii.
The what?
That it is not.
It's a artifact where they collected 100 people's worth of ashes into one clay pot, so that when you destroy it, volcano.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Yeah. That's not this.
That's good.
This is the winds of Tiamat.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's fine. Look, it'll be fine. So you're bringing things here, yes?
They should be arriving shortly, so let's hop to.
Mm-hmm.
Start the summoning then. He kind of claps his hands together and starts to rub them. And you guys begin this ritual as Jason and Rike is moving very quickly, pedal to the metal. You are not on the road anymore. You are driving through this grassland, through these plains, as Jason is just on your tail. And you have that he's totally just running after me because he's being, is he gonna kill me if he catches me sort of situation? And you kind of look back and you see the golden eyes of Jason in his bestial form chasing you. And as you look past him, you see the probably almost 100 eyes looking at you as the planes themselves seem to be moving up and down in a wave form with this dark in the darkness and through the grass. You guys are making your way very quickly towards the spell area, and as they do, someone's going to need to cast big magic. Who's going to do it? Someone's going to have to use big magic, and those of them who are helping can help.
What's big magic? Is that weird?
Yeah.
It's use magic. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a weird move.
Yeah, I have
weird.
2 in weird.
I too have 2 in weird.
Okay.
3 in weird.
What's help?
You're busy.
Cool.
Help is cool. I have a -1 in cool.
I can help you out. I think Manny pauses and hands Imogen the scroll. You haven't completed it yet, but repeat after me.
All right.
Senza riposo,
Senza Reposo.
necessuna pieta,
Say it slower.
necessuna pieta.
Necessuna Pieta.
Right. Non importa cosa.
Non importa cosa.
Now the whole thing.
Let me see that. She's
You
gonna
start
look
to
at it and
you start to speak the
Mhm.
spell and it starts to activate. Why don't you go ahead
Okay.
and roll me a use magic plus weird, please?
Should I roll my help?
Well, I'll see how she rolls.
oh, that was a night.
That's an 8, which is a partial success. With the help, unless you have something special, you only get a +1.
I could. Can I spend a luck point and just take the consequences?
You can if you'd like.
Let's do it. Go big or go home.
All right. You cast this spell and you see the light of this circle begin to open. You hear in the distance the sound of this bike coming in, and as you do, the Rike, you see the spell circle in front of you, swerve out of the way, and as you see its casting, Jason, you can see it going in front of you, but it is not yet completed, and this swarm of goblins are coming your way. It's going to take a minute for this spell to be completed, for the portal to open, and you guys are going to have to fight. Yes, you would. All right. Go ahead and in, of course, the Monster of the Week, there is a roll for kick some ass. Jason and Rike, they are going to be on both of you, so I'm going to need both of you to kick some ass. Unless there's something else you'd rather do.
I want to hit someone with my sword.
Do it!
Well, maybe. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah. That would be...
Roll plus tough, please.
Roll plus what now? Tough.
Tough!
Roll plus that. Okay. Boo-boo. A 6.
All right. Well, this plays in very well to what you rolled earlier. Jason, do you want to describe to what you do? You, on a 10 plus, you can choose one extra effect, which is usually when you are trading blows with someone, because I don't roll as the GM. You, again, are trading blows, so you take harm as well as doing harm onto them. But on a 10 plus, you can choose an extra effect where you can gain advantage, inflict extra harm, or suffer less harm from these creatures, or force them where you want.
Yes. So, seeing Rike swerve off, and seeing something like that gnawing sense in the back of it's not Jason anymore. It's just it's something that's trying to understand what's going on, but seeing that gnawing sense that something's not done and that Rike is just swerving off to the side and just like hearing all these things behind him. He's gonna stop and turn around, and seeing all of these things still charging at him, he's gonna like dive headfirst into the fray and just like start tearing at everything. I would like to get the attention of all these things as I become the threat. I am the danger.
Okay.
And I would like to give that advantage to whoever's going to follow up behind me,
Okay.
and give +1 forward.
All right. Sounds good.
My established danger is my teeth, which is 3.
Okay.
And is
You begin.
intimate.
Very intimate. You begin to tear through, and you can feel your teeth pulling into them, and you very quickly realize that they have a sac right under their throat that contains their acid, and you quickly learn to not bite into that to burn yourself. You do take 1 harm from the first initial bite that you take, but you start tearing into them, and as you do, you growl and roar into the night, your claws ripping into you, you tear apart 3 of them as you do this. Rike, you've fought alongside Jason before. This is the most frail that you've ever seen him, and it distracts you for a moment as you sort of hesitate to. Have you summoned your sword?
Yes. So, like, basically, like, get off bike. Just rips necklace off, and then you see a little bit of blood coming out of the inside of his palm, and then he like it's like that quick, just like throw down as like this obsidian blade seems to extend out of his, like there's a pommel that's created, and then a blade just juts out. But you can see that like that obsidian texture is actually creeping up his arm, and for the purposes of his ability, like it's doubling as an armor onto him.
Awesome. You summon your sword into your hand, your armor moves up your arm, and you see Jason ripping into these creatures, and just for a moment you hesitate, and as you do, the creatures at your legs sort of pop up on you, and a few of them sort of rip into you and start pulling down through your flesh, and you can feel your clothing begin to melt, and you're going to take 3 harm.
So
this was from the beginning of the episode.
Oh, okay. This is my comeuppance. Gotcha.
Yes, this is from the first roll that you did, where you get lots of danger. So, Destiny of the Playthings, at the beginning of each mystery, roll plus weird, see what was revealed about the future. You missed, and on a miss, something bad is going to happen to you. This is that bad thing. But you also have armor, correct?
I do have resilience.
Okay.
So I take 1 harm less in the purpose for the keeper's harm moves.
Correct. So you take 2 harm. You also have protective gear worth 1 armor.
Yep.
So you take 1 harm.
Okay.
But you see that the acid is dripping into your armor and is starting to burn it away. I'm going to get...
I was going to say, like, because that, I imagine, is, like, hitting before the armor's complete, because it's not just a gauntlet. If you've seen Full Metal Alchemist, what's his name? Long hair guy. Shao, where he gets like the full like armor suit. It's that, but it has 2 black horns that extend out of the head.
Beautiful. Yeah, so you feel your flesh beginning to sizzle, and your armor forms over it, connecting it together. And you have gotten an opportunity from Jason to try and attack these things again. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm gonna attack them again, but not with the dice that I was using before.
Fair.
Different dice. Show me the money. That's a total of 8.
An 8. All right, that is a mixed success. You get to kick some ass. On a success, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm upon each other. The amount of harm is based on the dangers in the game. So, how much harm do you do with your blade?
With my blade, it says +1 harm.
Okay, and it is magic, and it has close...
It is an artifact, and I have it as long.
All right. Ooh, it's long. So your blade rips through 4 of these beings. You can feel the magic sort of cut through them, and as it does, the acid that would be damaging your sword washes over it instead, and you can see it flick off your blade into the grass, and it sizzles. But there are still a lot of these things left. Jason, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You're still surrounded.
Is the attention still on me?
Yes, all of the attention is now on you. Oh, right. You would take 1 harm from the training blows, but because of your thing, you're good.
I want to try and protect someone to keep, to try and keep that.
Attention on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll plus tough, please. That's a 7, mixed success. Yeah. On a 7, you protect them, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get.
Yeah, so just like if any of the gremlins were like trying to break away from me, I want to just like impose myself into whatever attack they're trying to do.
Yeah, so they can really sense all of the magical artifacts that are behind you and towards Manny and Imogen. So they are trying to get past you, and you kind of reach out and grab at them, tearing at their flesh, killing some of them. But again, there is just a massive wave of them. You're going to take 2 harm from them trying to claw their way past you. That's standard harm, non-magical. So if you have any defenses. Imogen and Manny, is there anything you'd like to do in this moment to help your friends or continue to quicken the spell?
It might not quicken the spell, but I'll let Imogen go first.
I think I would qualify for an act under pressure roll at this point.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So you're gonna roll plus cool?
Yep. I'm gonna.
So cool.
Mm-hmm. So cool with my -1 and cool.
You got this. Yeah.
That's a 9, which is a mixed success. The keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. Do you have any preferences, or can I do what I like?
Hit me with your best shot.
You are casting this spell. You feel yourself being pulled. Your magic and your mind is pulled into this spell. You are focusing on what you're doing, but you do see Jason being torn up. You hear Rike in the distance yell out in pain as he is beginning to have part of his leg dissolve. Your focus is being drawn away with these shouts, but you buckle down and you try to focus more on what you're doing. Your hand reaching out towards the circle, chanting the words over and over again. And again, you see those eyes. And instead of blinking in and out of existence, you see them in front of you and you cannot look away from them. These blue, deep, angelic looking eyes are pulling you in and you cannot look away from them. You cannot think about anything else. And as your words begin to leave your mouth, you are not saying them. It is just muscle memory at this point. You are just chanting these words and beckoning this creature towards you. And you are sort of stuck in this moment. But the spell is continuing and it is almost to completion. Manny?
What would it be to slap Imogen out of this?
You could try to protect somebody.
Okay.
But if you do not succeed, you will snap her out of the spell that she is doing.
Okay.
Okay.
I know exactly what I want to do here.
All right.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna use a luck to 12 this.
Okay. All right.
And basically he's just gonna grab her shoulders and look at her. There is a very intense look on his face. You control the magic. It doesn't control you.
The blue eyes in front of you become a layer on top of the world, and you can see Manny's face reflected behind them, and you start to focus more on Manny. You start to realize that these eyes are drawing you in, they are controlling you. And as you see Manny and as you feel him pulling you back in, your paranoia peaks up.
Uh-oh.
He's trying to take you away from your true calling.
Uh-oh.
From a powerful being that could help you.
Oh no.
There's
All right.
screaming of "get out" in Manny's head. It's Imogen's voice.
Okay. One more round before this spell is done. Who wants to act first? The gremlins are still overpowering. They are moving towards this magical artifact, all of these artifacts that you have gathered in the center of this circle. They're trying to get past you, Jason and Rike, to get to your friends and your loved ones. And it is your duty to keep that you have to keep them away. Otherwise, they're going to start hurting your friends. What would you like to do?
I feel like Rike is like, I mean, at this point, he's a human-sized artifact because of its like power armor as well as his sword, which looks just like almost like a giant machete. And he's gonna put himself between him and his bike because that's where the magic 8-ball is. And he is going to just keep trying to fight off these little greasy gremlins. These little nasty boys. So I'm gonna roll to attack, which is to harm. So I use my tough.
They've all escaped.
roll.
It's fine. It's fine.
Holy shit! I can't read it because I don't have my glasses.
What'd you roll?
Chaotic Games. Thank you for the raid. Holy crap!
Oh my gosh,
Thank
hi.
you.
Hello.
I have kittens on
Welcome,
the loose.
everyone.
End of the game. We're in the final battle. It's great.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll to attack. So that's roll plus
Tough.
tough. Another 8. So keep fighting them off.
Yeah, you have your tough is +2. Did you add that?
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah, so you are trading blows with these guys. You are not supposed to be in here. You're supposed to be in the kitchen. You continue to fight against these gremlins. They tear into you. You tear into them. You take the 3 harm again. Bang. The 1 harm dumbed down. And you are ripping through them. You are able to keep them off the side that has Manny on it. Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Woo!
Woo! Next up.
Oh boy.
Go on.
Well, when
Yeah,
she's
back
gone,
in.
I had a question.
You can
Yes.
ask it.
How's Imogen looking? Does it look like she's getting taken over by this one?
Yes.
He looks scary.
Our DM yelled yes at that question.
Okay.
She's got, okay, for all of you who are just joining us, our game master is running this game expertly while also fostering 6 small black kittens, and they're adorable, but they are
And
not
they-
staying where they are supposed to.
They're running
I just-
amok.
They knocked down the gate. It's fine. I'm not going to get him back now. It's fine.
Follow LBHackEmUp on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram for all of the kitten updates you could possibly want. They're adorable.
And you want to do
Queen,
it
you were
now
supposed
on
to be in
Twitter
charge.
or on Twitch, because again, if you don't do it now, she is going to be rebranding soon as Hack Recklessly. So if you want to find it
Yes, you
at
might lose it.
LBHackEmUp, you got to do it now.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Imogen seems to be slightly afraid of you, as well as really into this spell.
I did do a 12 plus on the protect someone, so could I 10 plus, could I all impending dangers now focused on me?
Okay, so you want to pull the gaze to you.
Well, that was the original effect. And then Lord.
This was you. I'm sorry, you just rolled.
No. This is from last time. Yeah.
Let's see what it. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, Imogen, you still have this paranoia. You still have this paranoia surrounding Manny and this desire, these hallucinations of these eyes pulling on you. But Manny, you start to see in the sky, it begins to tear and rip with this light, this golden light. And as it does, you also see this vision, these eyes upon you, and they start to focus on you. Imogen, this gaze is leaving you.
Oh, Lordy, this is gonna suck. Let me just read something real quick. Grant me vengeance, I guess. And he's going to try and use magic to summon a creature to expedite the pull.
Oh boy. Okay. I like that. All right, go ahead and use magic.
Eldritch yoink.
Eldritch yoink. Divine yoink.
Divine, put me in, coach. I'm ready.
That
is a 6.
It's a 7. I have my practitioner mark 2
yes.
of the use magic effects.
That is a partial success. How would you like it to what glitches would you like to add to it? Oh, actually, I decide what glitches it'll have.
Yeah, hold on. When you miss a use magic roll, you can choose one of the following options instead of losing control of the magic. I've got a spell called Could Have Been Worse.
That's true.
An ability could have been worse. And I think I want to use This Is Gonna Suck. The effect happens, but I trigger all the listed glitches but one.
Okie dokie. What one do you not want to trigger?
Hurt me real good. I don't want the effect to be weakened.
Okay. All right. The spell finishes. A portal opens behind all of you, the sound of metal and air being ripped apart. Low but bright sunlight streams in, revealing golden pillars of stone and grand steps up to cream-colored clouds in the sky. White feathered wings seemingly attached to a white metal mantle of a 9-foot tall being, flap blowing dust and wind towards you. The pale skin of this angelic being shines in the light. Her torso emerges from the rift. Her long, slender legs end in sharp blades where her feet should be. Her impossibly blue hair flows unnaturally behind her as if she carries wind with it. The being holds her sword aloft as her mouth opens in a voiceless wail. You are thrown onto the ground as the wave of energy emits from this angel. The gremlins stop in their tracks, cowering and shaking from the emergence of Akroma. Her wrath turns upon the creatures as she grips her sword and rips it through the air. Though nothing touches the creatures, their screams and terror pierce your ears. The small beings start to tear like paper, bits flying off and disappearing into nothingness. The energy keeps you on the ground, keeps you pressed to the grass as the waves of wind and power wash over you. When the last gremlin is torn away, Akroma straightens her body, floating feet above all of you. The weight of her gaze falls upon each of you, as if to judge you. And through a clenched jaw, she says, "No rest, no mercy, no matter what." And as her eyes fall upon Manny, you feel the gaze latch and connect to you. And you see her reach out. And as she does, she grabs you and her hand clenches your chest and pulls you back into the portal as it closes behind her, leaving an empty field and the three of you plus Nicholas in the silence of the dark.
I avoided all my consequences of my counsel. Hell yeah.
Manny?
Rike just turns towards Nicholas and says, like through this armor, "Is that supposed to happen?"
He is jaw open, eyes wide at what just happened. The thing that was in his hand is still there.
I thought it was gonna consume that and the creatures. It shouldn't have taken Manny, right?
Is he an
It shouldn't have
artifact?
taken. Was he?
I don't know. I don't know what just happened.
Where's my magic 8-ball?
Points to the bike.
And Imogen, whenever you look at Rike, you just see Jason right above him, and Rike, you just feel hot breath on your neck.
That's fine.
It is decided. What does that mean?
I'll just pin you to the ground.
Nice.
Asking him later. Oh, come on.
You
It
feel
is
your back
decidedly
hit the
so.
ground as the air falls from your lungs and a monstrous wolf creature is above you, growling over you. Imogen, your husband is being pinned down by your cousin. Might be getting eaten soon.
Jason Moore, get off him. What are you doing?
He doesn't move.
Jason Moore, you get off him right now.
Armor's
He's-
still
he-
up, thankfully.
Yeah, he doesn't move. He doesn't look like he's moved to attack Rike. He's just on top of him, pinning him down.
Did you two get in a fight?
I may have mentioned our legal bindings in Nevada.
Why? On God's green earth would you tell him that?
Because he seemed curious. And also because he was asking me why I wanted to get rid of your magic 8-ball.
And so you just went ahead and told, like, because he was curious? What is this Tuesday night knitting circle?
Well,
Keep
no,
your
it's
gossip
actually
to
Thirsty
yourself.
Thursdays, and I've been a pitcher in for most of this adventure.
Pressure on your back. A little bit of blood drawn.
Jason, get off of him. Two of us made the stupid decision, so if you're gonna eat him, you're gonna have to eat me too, and then you're gonna have to tell your mama why you did that, and then you're gonna have to tell
He does
my
not
mama why you did that,
understand.
and you're gonna have to get. Hey, get. Don't make me whoop your butt. That's it. I'm gonna find a squirt bottle. Where is it?
Why don't you do me a favor and roll to manipulate someone? Imogen.
What's manipulate? Do I get anything?
Charm.
Charm, darling, charm.
I'm so charming.
Oh boy.
That's the day.
That is a failure.
Yep. Just gonna
Unless
experience.
someone
Actually-
would like to help you. Get out
Or-
of here.
I could just lead into the dark side of my abilities. I'm gonna make that a 12.
Oh my god.
Fuck around
For
and find out,
everyone
fam. Let's
who's
go.
watching, she has marked 3 luck points tonight. You reach into Jason's mind and begin to pull him back. Get out of here, Bram. That's a mirror. You begin to reach into his mind and find his humanity through the beast. Jason, you can feel yourself being pulled from this rage that you feel as the monster of the night. And as you do, Imogen, you start to see those eyes again. They start to blur your vision, and you hear them calling to you. And you know exactly where to go. It is not here. You need to go back to the shop right now.
Get off him. We need to go back. I can get Manny back. Come on. I know you can hear me.
He steps off, and it's like he's like stumbling. He's very, very dizzy. And sort of just like falls to the ground and eventually shifts back. There's some of his clothes left. But he is not conscious.
Jason is passed out on the ground. Rike is stuck in his armor.
Yep. Rike will, like, as a conscious thing, Rike will, like, start dismissing the armor, hop on his motorcycle, and be like, just, like, motion for you to get on.
I'm not leaving him here.
Points towards Nicholas. Be like, okay, 1, it's his house. 2, hey, Nicholas.
What?
We're getting Manny back. Can you watch this guy?
Put Jason in the truck. I'll drive his truck back to the magic shop.
Right.
Okay, like picks up Jason, sets him in the bed of the truck.
If you start to move him, he'll wake up.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, okay.
Nicholas is like, I have to go back. I have to report this to my order.
All right, deuces.
I mean, you could come help us get him back first, and then, you know.
Not part of my order. This has to be reported.
Report afterwards. Come on.
That's not how it works. We are by the books. I know Manny's not always, but...
Oh, your books are stupid.
He tips his head and casts a spell, and you see him portal out.
Bye. Thanks for writing a candle, I guess. Come on.
Yeah, we helped Jason up.
Yeah, Jason will go get like another like shirt from his glove box, or like in the back seat. He'll shove it on.
Do you want me to drive?
I'm fine. Why the fuck are we going back to the shop?
I know I can get him back. We have to try.
And he'll just nod, start up the truck, and start heading that way.
Guys, with the paranoid hallucinations of Imogen, the strength of Rike, and the fury of Jason, you begin to head back into town to get your friend Manny back, which we'll have to figure out next time on Monster of the Week.
Oh man, I get to use the mask.
Oh, it's a good mask.
It's a good mask.
LB, thank you so much for running this game. I love this. This is incredible. What a great birthday game for me. There we go.
If you didn't know, it's just all Magic the Gathering stuff.
I knew it was Magic the Gathering stuff, and that's the part that counts. So, but no, seriously, I had a blast playing this game, but I always have a blast whenever you're on the channel. LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hello, everybody. I'm at LBHackEmUp, at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. You can find me there. I stream Tuesday afternoons, Friday evenings, and Sunday evenings on my channel and various places throughout the week. So check out my Twitter to see where I'm at. You can also check out my Twitter for kitten photos and videos because I have 6 little fucking monsters that can't stay in their space, even though I was being generous and letting them out, but it's fine. Normally see me here on Monday nights playing Gwen the Halfling Barbarian Fighter, but I do love to throw together a one-shot, so thank you for letting me run that. DanaeKeener.com?
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm RJ. And you can catch me at rjustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. Next time you can catch me is Thursday over at GGK, where we're doing Elegant Creatures, a Good Society hack with some urban shadows. It's gonna be fun. Otherwise, if you want to see me in other games, check out my Twitter because I'm in some games with these beautiful folks, including Monday games, Sunday for Witchlight, Saturday is again over at GGK, and Sunday morning over at Sarah's channel, where we do another 5e campaign. It's gonna be good. By the by, I'm looking for a new notebook.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually know of a really good place where you can get a notebook. It's shop.therookandtheraven.com. Did you know that like it's fully modular? You can have all sorts of pages, covers, sizes. You can get different ring clips even, which was a surprise to me. There's like different metals, different size metals that you can get.
Simon,
yeah, what?
Silver Boulay in chat saying that they're having trouble keeping track of us. So they wish they had a journal too. So Rook and the Raven.
Oh my God, Silver Bullet! Did you know that if you go to shop.therookandtheraven.com, build yourself out one of those journals, you can use the code HypeGoblin to check out 15% off. It's insane. It's such a good deal. My roommate's yelling "wow" in the background, and he didn't even know about the deal until just now, but he heard it. I promise that's what he's yelling about.
Hi, Reeves. We love you.
Hi, Reeves. TheHypeGoblin.com.
Oh, is it me now? Hi, everybody. I am Sarah. Yes, I am an affiliate with RookandTheRaven.com, as these beautiful, beautiful chucklefucks love to remind everyone. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. You can find me all over the internet as the Hype Goblin, doing character cosplays. TikTok and Instagram is a lot of that content. You can find me on my Ko-Fi. I'm offering information that is solely there based on these characters, about character backgrounds, building characters. I'm doing tarot readings for your D&D characters because it sounded like fun, and I've been having a good time doing it. And you can also find me playing TTRPGs all over Twitch. That is all pinned in the link on my bio all over social media, so just look at my bio link. And also, next week, there's no D&D on my channel. Next week, on Sunday, someone here at this table is going to be taking us through a Fate game where we're going to be mech pilots, and I'm going to be a magical girl mech pilot. It's going to be great. DanaeKeener.com. See you at 10 a.m. Sunday.
Well, shit, I guess that's me. Hey, I'm Cyber. You can find me on twitch.tv/CyberWolf1201. We're on Saturday. I think I'll be going back to streaming, and it's also going to be my 4-year anniversary of being an affiliate, so that's cool. I'm old fuck. But as far as D&D and tabletop and all that shit, well, you can find me on Monday game here on twitch.tv/indoor-adventure. Or Indoor Adventures. That was like 3 URLs ago. Yeah, that's it.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your sufferer of yearly allergies, the Indoor Adventurer. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as anywhere you can find audio casts or the YouTube. I don't know how to ever transfer them from that. YouTube.com/Indoor Adventures. You can check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we've played, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But before we head out for the evening, 3 things. 1, LB, thank you again so much for running this game. I know that you've had it brewing for a long time. I've been really excited to be able to finally play Monster of the Week with you. 2, HypeGoblin, check out shop.therookandtheraven.com, 15% off your order. 3rd, if you go to Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com, they're currently away right now, but we're always going to plug your shit because Danae, you're incredible. I hope you're having a good vacation as well. But with that, that is our show. Thank you so much for joining. And with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!